What is up, YouTube? What's up, beautiful people? It is your favorite couple back again with another episode of our podcast.
We still do.
Sorry we're late. We are behind schedule, but better late than never, I guess you can say. So this week we're going to talk about long engagements and our perspective on long engagements, because we did not have a long engagement, but we're going to, touch on what we feel about it. So you want to get started? You want to jump in?
You can start it off. This was your topic.
Gracious. Okay, I'll start it off. Well, like I said, we didn't have a long engagement, but in my opinion, I feel like a long engagement can, in some ways, ruin the, I want to say like the suspense of getting married. Because, when you first get engaged, it's, you floating on cloud nine and, everything is just new. It's like, my fiance, we're going to get married. And then you immediately go into that bride mode. You start planning out everything, picking out everything you want. And, you can only do that for so long. And then once you're done doing it, it's like, I'm ready for this to happen. And then, things come up. And before you know it, you look up and you've been engaged for 2-3 years. And it's like, in my opinion, I just feel like the desire and that like feeling that you had when you first got engaged kind of goes away. Like I in my opinion, I feel like when you get engaged, you should get married like within a year. Like being a man, like if I feel like I'm going to propose to you, I need to already be in the mindset of we're going to get married, within a year. Not, let me propose, because it kind of seems like I'm just proposing to you because I know this is what you want, and I know this is going to make you happy, and it's going to show that I'm committed to you. And then it's kind of like this is going to shut you up. Like there's nothing else that I can do now. Like you're my fiance, I propose to you, I put a ring on it, but you're still not taking that final step and actually doing the wedding. Because in reality, you guys are still boyfriend and girlfriend. All you did was put a ring on. That's it. Which, it happens. I don't even know what the statistics are, but I'm sure, we know it happens where, engagement is off. Like, we're done. Here's your ring back. Maybe not giving it back, maybe keeping it. But it happens. And I feel like a lot of times that happens because it just took so long. That's my take on it.
I mean, I agree with that too, but at the same time, if you do have a long engagement and let's say you find out something about that person that you didn't know, and it makes you not want to marry them.
If you have a long one.
Yeah.
Right.
So it's like, it could be a good thing because maybe you are like dodging a bullet.
Yeah.
At the same time. I mean, I don't know. Like you said, we didn't have a long engagement. It was just kind of like.
How long was our engagement?
We wanted to get married.
Like months, huh?
And.
It wasn't even a year.
It wasn't even months. It was like a month and a half we were engaged.
Right.
We weren't engaged very long.
Listen, I was so nervous. I don't remember the wedding. I was nervous as heck. But yeah.
What were you nervous about?
Getting married. What do you mean?
Why were you nervous about getting married?
I think I was just like, it happened so fast. I knew that I wanted it to happen, but it was just like this is for real. Like, I'm about to get married. And then everybody being there, and then me having to stand up there in front of everybody. I just was like, I kind of just like blacked out up there, still standing up, and I was just nervous. Like, I wasn't nervous when I proposed to you. Maybe I was a little nervous because I never did it. And I wasn't nervous, like, to say, like, I'm going to get married. But it's like when it happens and it's the day, like, man, you'd be like, oh.
Are you making a mistake?
No, I didn't feel like I was making a mistake at all.
I mean, but is that like something that you thought, like, am I making a mistake? Or do I really want to be married?
No, I never thought that. Because I knew that I wanted to marry you. Because to me, I felt like if I'm thinking that, then I shouldn't have proposed when I proposed. Like, I could have waited longer. Like, I knew that I wanted to marry you. That's why I proposed. So I didn't feel like, dang, did I really want to do this? Like, should I go through with it? Like, am I making a mistake? I didn't feel like that at all. I was just nervous, like, thinking to myself, like, I'm about to be married. Like, this is about to be my wife. She about to have my last name. Like, this is for real. Like, we're not boyfriend and girlfriend no more. I done had those before. I ain't never had a wife. That's how I was looking at it. Like, all that stuff started running through my head. Like, my wife, like, not my girlfriend.
So what made you propose when you proposed? Because it's not like, I mean, we had like talked about it, like, just randomly, like, in conversations, like, oh yeah, like, get married one day. But it was never like, I never had put pressure on you, like, when are you gonna propose to me? Like,
I think
it was completely like out of the blue.
Yeah, I think, and that's why I did it. And you know, I'm not good with like holding back stuff.
Yeah.
And I had got the ring, and I was just like, I can hold on to this for as long as I can, or I can just be random. Because I mean, I had already felt at the time like, I know she's the one. And it wasn't like I can be like, you know, let me fill her out some more and see. Like, at that point, you had already changed me so much where it's like nobody has ever changed me that much. So I had already had it made up in my mind, like, I'm gonna do it. But when was the thing. Like, I had thought about all kinds of different scenarios in my head on when I can do it, but honestly, it was like, I really don't want it to be like a big spectacular thing, because I didn't want to be the center of attention. I felt like I would be nervous doing it like that. So I was just like, you know what, I'll just do it when it's just the two of us and let it be that. But I mean, I really couldn't say, like, I don't remember exactly why I chose to do it that day, other than the fact that, you know, I like to just be spontaneous. And I knew you weren't expecting it.
Yeah. No, I wasn't expecting it at all.
Yeah. So that, I mean, I guess you can say that was the main reason why I did it, because I knew you weren't expecting it. And it was like, you know what, I'm going to do it right now. I can do it whenever I want, because I knew you weren't expecting it. But I'll do it now.
Did you know I was going to say yes?
No. I was hoping. And you know what? I guess just thinking about this, how you would always tell me, or you always tell me, that I'm afraid of rejection. I think that was part of the reason too why I was like, I don't know if I want to do it in front of a lot of people. Mm-hmm. If she say no, oh man,
I wouldn't say no if it was in front of a lot of people.
But see, I wouldn't want you to say yeah in front of everybody if you didn't mean it either.
Yeah.
Be like, yes, and then everybody leave and be like, you know, actually.
Yeah.
That would be even more embarrassing.
Yeah.
Everybody be like, so when's the day?
What?
Oh yeah, we're really not getting married.
I think too, stuff like that can lead into long engagements too. When it's like this big extravagant like engagement where everybody's there, family members are there, and you almost feel pressure to say yes, but you really don't want to say yes. Or it's not that you don't want to say yes, but you're not ready to get married.
Yeah.
But you don't want to break up, so you don't want to say no. And I feel like a situation like that can lead to a long engagement too, because it's like, okay, I really don't want to get married
Yeah.
right now, but
Yeah.
you know, I
It's-
don't want to break up and hurt his feelings. So
It's
just
hard
say
to
yes.
judge that, because the guy could be in a place where he like, this is it. This is the one. And, you know, the woman can be at a place where she's like, everything is fine. Not thinking that, you know, you're going to propose.
yeah,
And then, like you say, you propose and you just feel like, dang, everybody's watching. Like, I do love him. I'm in love with him. I'm not really ready to get married. Things
Yeah.
are good the way they are. So she just says yes. But behind closed doors, she's like, you know, I'm really not ready to get married. And then, yeah, you end
yeah.
up with that long engagement. So what would
Because
you say?
I don't think that I was necessarily like ready to get married. Like I said, we had talked about it before, but it wasn't like we planned it out. Like, you know what I mean? Like, when we get married, this is what we want our wedding to be like, or like anything like that.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it was just like a feeling that came over me, like, you know what? Yeah, I do want to marry him. Like, you know, so I think you really don't know until you're in that moment.
Yeah. So what would you say is I guess like a safe or a decent amount of time to be engaged?
It depends.
I mean,
It
really,
depends on, like, honestly, it depends on how big and extravagant you want your wedding to be, and like if you already have money put aside to your wedding, towards your wedding.
that would
you know?
determine how long.
I think so, because that should be the only determining factor.
But see, that's
Is the actual ceremony and how extravagant you want it to be.
that's why I was saying, as the man, when you're already with that person, like say we've been already dating for a year, and I'm starting to feel like, you know what, I think she might be the one. I feel like as a man, I feel like something bit me. I feel like as a man that you should at that moment start, you know, saving and putting money towards a wedding, so that way
Yeah.
you don't have to have that long engagement. That's why I say like within
Yeah.
a year, because if you already know that you want to marry this woman, you obviously went and seeked out a ring, you found your ring, that's check that box off, and now it's like, okay, let me start saving, because it's not your job to pick, you know, this where the ceremony and everything's going to be. You know, you let her pick all that, but you know you're going to need the money, so you just start saving the money, because
Yeah.
you don't have to pick nothing else out besides the ring. At this point now, it's just like, let me just start putting money over here, so that when she's ready to start planning stuff, be like, okay, well, boom, here's this money over here, so, you know, we can add to that, but, you know, I already got this much saved, so, you know, now you can start planning things. That's
Yeah.
that's why I say within
But
a year.
Yeah, and you have to be really smart person and very intentional about everything that you do for you to do something like that. Usually when somebody's proposing, it's out of emotion and like, you know, I'm head over heels, I'm in love with her, I need to put a ring on it like ASAP. So I don't really think, and like you said, most of the guys are not that involved in the wedding planning. So most guys are probably not thinking like, I need to start putting money aside for my wedding before they even engage, like, not engage, propose. Like most guys don't think like that.
So I'm one of a kind.
You didn't, no, you're not one of a kind because you didn't do that.
I didn't have no money.
This is hindsight that we're talking here.
I didn't have no money.
Well, okay, then you shouldn't have proposed.
I had the money for the ring, and I knew that I wanted to marry you. So,
Okay, exactly. So
we
this
got
is
married.
typical guy thought.
But see,
You had money for the ring and you knew you wanted to marry me. That's what most guys, that's
But
how
if-
most guys are going to think.
if we wouldn't have got married so fast, I think I would have tried to have some money for a bigger wedding. But, you know, the situation that we had was like, if we get married now, then I'll just, you know, move in with you and your family. Because
Yeah.
I kind of had, you know, it wasn't that I was getting put out of where I was living, but, you know, I was living with family.
Yeah,
And
it
then
was
they
like
had
a
to move.
transitional stage.
Yeah, they had to move, and it was like, I don't want to be moving with you.
But
So
I think even if that was a situation, let's say we did have more time to plan. I'm not the type of person who wants this big wedding, like with a whole bunch of people. Like even seeing when we did our vow renewal, like I don't like big, extravagant.
yeah, that was big enough for me
That
too.
was, you know, like I want the people that I have in my life on a regular basis. I don't need, you know, auntie from out of town and cousins.
Yeah,
and all,
flying
like,
people in from everywhere.
I don't need all that. So I think even if we did, you know, let's say we had the money saved to do the dream wedding or whatever, like I don't think that it would have been more extravagant than what it was already. Maybe a different location. That's probably the only thing. But yeah, it would have been very similar to what
we
it
put
was.
that thing together real
'cause-
quick too.
Yeah, we did.
Good thing your parents had a church, because
We did.
we didn't have to pay for none of that.
Yeah, we didn't. I mean, we did not spend a lot on our wedding. I
It
didn't
was
even
still
have
nice,
a regular wedding dress. Yeah, it was nice, but yeah, and
From
I
what I remember.
don't care to spend money on stuff like that either, though. Even now, like I don't care to spend money like that on like one day. To me, that's just a lot to be putting into one day. But some people are like, nope, my wedding, it's like a once in a lifetime thing and it needs to be all out. And, you know, that's fine too. But that's just not how I am.
So what else was I gonna ask? What, I mean, there's really no correct answers, because I was gonna say, what do you think will be too short of an engagement? Because ours was short.
Well, we got married in like 8 weeks.
Yeah. So I mean, there's really no answer to
So-
it. I mean, I guess
I mean, because you can be in a relationship where the guy proposes and you guys go to the courthouse
yeah.
and get married. So it's just because you have a proposal doesn't mean that you have a wedding ceremony. You know?
I think like just looking back on our situation and knowing of other couples who got married quick, it's really like it's by God's grace, like if that relationship lasts. Like if it's really meant to be,
Yeah.
then it doesn't matter if you get married in 8 weeks like we did, or if you get married in 2 years. Like if it's meant to be, it's meant to be. Because
Yeah.
the same way we got married in 8 weeks, somebody can be, you know, engaged for 3 years and their marriage still not work out. It's like you guys were together for 3
Yeah.
years, and then you got engaged for another 3
Yeah.
years.
And I think it's too, yeah, like if you're meant to be together, but also if you're willing to put in the work.
Mm-hmm.
Like marriage is a lot of work, and it's a lot of just compromise
Yeah.
and, you know, selflessness, and
I think that's what was,
that's really, I think at the end of the day, that's really, I mean, we our first year and a half, almost 2 years, was crazy, but I think, you know, once the dust settled and, you know, the pettiness was aside, we were both willing to kind of like, you know, drop the pride and apologize and like talk and seek counseling and like pray. And we never thought that we knew everything and that we could just get through it on our own. So, yeah, and neither one of us was too prideful to say like, oh, I messed up. Or, you know what I mean? Or maybe not in that moment, but you have to be willing to acknowledge that like you make mistakes, you have flaws, you have bad days, but you have to be willing to move past it and not constantly be looking to hang something over the other person's head. Like, see, I told you so, or I'm better than you, or I'm more spiritual than you, or I'm this or I'm that. It's not, because to me, I'm as strong as you are. You're as strong as I am. So it's not about who's the better one in the relationship or who, can hold the relationship down more. It's about what you guys can build together in the relationship. And I mean, that's really, really what it boils down to. Like, I feel like I can't really afford to have any bad days. You know what I mean? Like, if I have a bad day,
like in doing what?
Just
as a wife,
as a person. Like, I feel like if I have a bad day, then that is going to reflect on you. And vice versa. Like, if I have a bad day and my mood is shifted, it's going to affect you. Right? Just like you had a little off day yesterday. You had a bad day.
Yeah, I was a little frustrated.
Okay, you were frustrated, you were a little bit cranky, you were tired, and
I was exhausted.
That reflected on me. Like, it affected my mood because I'm like, okay, well, what's wrong? And and then my countenance starts to drop. So I feel like it's it's up to us to, not to say that we can't have bad days, but I feel like I'm here to support you and you should be here to support me. So if I am having a bad day, you should be there to pick up my slack. If you're having a bad day, I should be there to pick up your slack and not fall into your little funk. And you fall into my little funk, and now we're both walking around funky. Like, we should always have each other's back. And I don't know where that came from.
Because I had a bad day yesterday, I guess.
Yeah, but I don't know how that got into that conversation. But yeah. Was that the two?
What was the other one I was thinking of? Oh, that's what I was gonna. I wanted to see, I guess, both of our thoughts on, like, how do you approach, like, if you're the person who's in a long engagement and you're ready to get married, how do you approach your husband or your fiance at the time? How do you approach them and let them know, like, you're ready to get married without seeming pushy or like seeming like you're giving them a date, like, if we ain't married by such and such time, like, the engagement's off.
I think that when you get proposed to, like, after all the hoorah and everything, that is when you discuss, okay, when are we going to get married? You don't just get engaged and then, okay, move on with life.
No, I know that.
Like, you
normally
discuss it after that.
Yeah, you normally are supposed to pick a date, but that's what I'm saying. Like, if it's one of those situations where maybe you did pick a date, but that date came and went, and
Oh, well, then you have a discussion. I mean, it's not, if the date came and went, there's no, you shouldn't, or the other person shouldn't feel some type of way if I'm coming to you and asking, when are we going to get married? If we set a date and the date came and went. So it doesn't matter if I'm sounding pushy or whatever. You told me a date, and
yeah, but see, they might be in their head, like, so this would be in my opinion, this would be the scenario. Like, say I'm a guy, which I am, obviously. I'm a guy. Say I'm the guy who proposes. I'm the guy who proposes to you because I know this is what you want. I know that eventually I want to marry you. But I'm really not ready to marry you. So I propose to you. I let you choose a date and everything. But, by coincidence, some things happen to where, we don't end up making the deadline. We don't get married, but, when we were supposed to. And now I'm feeling like, okay, like that happened. We not married, but we still engaged. And now I'm feeling like, okay, she's just coasting now. Like the wedding thingy is kind of just like, slowly just
You
not
didn't
calling
want to
on the
get
back.
married. You never would. If you're the guy,
That's what I
right
said.
now,
Like I want to, but I didn't want to get married so soon. But like you said, when you
Okay.
propose, you choose a
you're
date.
an idiot. This guy in your scenario is an idiot.
Exactly.
Why would you propose to somebody if you don't want to get married?
People do it. People do it.
Okay, I don't know.
That's why. I mean,
I don't
I'm
know
trying to
what to
give
say to
scenarios
that.
for the people out there who somebody might have went through this.
Well, that's
feel like.
dumb. I'm sorry. If anybody's out there, you propose to somebody and you don't want to get married,
It is dumb.
that's ignorant. Why
is.
would you do that? And why would you string that person along? You could be keeping her from her real soulmate because you are being selfish and you just want to hold on to her, but you don't want to commit to her.
Guys be like that.
Okay,
Like,
well,
I want to
guys are
have
dumb.
her to me, to myself. And if she feel like I'm not, because sometimes women will be like, I want something more. Like we need to take this to the next level, And the dude is like, I mean, I do love her. That's what I'm saying. Like, guys kind of feel like they're cornered, and it's like, she's telling me I need to take it to the next level. We already done been together for 4 years. We've been dating for 4 years. She want to go to the next level. I don't have no other excuse on why we shouldn't go to the next level. So I propose, but he's thinking, which is a stupid thought, but he's probably thinking, once I propose to her, then
She'll
we'll
calm
stay.
down.
Yeah, she'll calm down, and we'll be in this mode for a little bit now, and that's what I'm saying. Like,
I don't know why anybody would logically think that would like.
because you're on the other side of it as a woman. I'm telling you how a guy would think, because
I don't know why a woman would be in that situation, like would put herself in that situation.
she wouldn't know she's going to
To
be put in that situation. She's just excited that she's getting
If
proposed
you've
to.
been dating a guy for 4 years and he's not saying anything about marriage or anything, and you guys are like older, like adult, like real adults, I mean, that already is like, I don't know. To me, that's already like a red flag.
Yeah, that's
like,
already a long time.
are we gonna?
And that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, I
when
don't
he feels
know.
when he feels like, it's either, move to the next step or lose you, and he doesn't want to lose you, then that's when they
and
do
you know
that.
what? Some people are okay with that though.
What?
Some people,
Just dating forever?
Yes.
I know.
Some people are okay with dating somebody for like 20 years. Like this is my
Don't mess up.
boyfriend.
Yeah, this is a good thing we got going, and they'll
And-
just actually call each other husband and wife.
Yeah, but they're really not married.
They're really not
It's
married.
weird.
And it's weird because you
And
don't even
they-
be knowing it.
Yeah.
Like,
you
yo,
don't
wait, y'all
find-
ain't married? Like, no, we ain't married.
You don't find out
Stop
until
lying.
like the other person like passes away or something like that,
Yeah.
which is crazy. But a lot of people, yeah, they're just boyfriend and girlfriend for the rest of your life, till death do you part. You're my girlfriend.
But yeah, but back
weird.
to my scenario, because I know it
Dante,
sounds
I don't like
stupid.
your scenario. I already told you I don't have the answer to that.
Oh, okay.
It just, the whole situation is just sounds wrong. Sounds like a toxic
Well,
relationship.
it's
that
not
somebody
for
needs
us
to get out of.
to like. It's for
I'm
someone
just
who
saying,
may be watching.
I don't have an answer for that. That's what I'm saying. I
guess-
don't.
Yeah.
If that were me, I don't have an answer to that. You're asking what would I do?
Not what would you do? Like, what advice would you give to somebody who wanted to approach their fiance?
You guys want two different things. You want to be
But would
married
you
and
say-
start a life with somebody, and he doesn't want to do that.
Right. So would you say?
That's what I would say.
But would you take it as far as saying either give them a ultimatum?
No, I'm
and
not going to tell anybody. I'm not going to tell anybody what to do. Because I'm not going to tell anybody what to do. I can't say this is what you need to do. All I can do is share my thoughts and share my experience, and then you make your decision based off of that. But I would tell that person, like, you guys want two different things.
Mm-hmm.
Like, clearly you guys want two different things. This person does not want to start a life with you. He's content where he is. He just wants to hold on to you, and you are ready to start a life with him. So but I'm never going to tell anybody, you need to leave him. You need to give him an ultimatum. I'm not going to tell anybody that, because I don't feel like that's my place to tell anybody that.
Mm-hmm.
But I am going to, speak the truth.
Yeah, well,
and break down the facts, because sometimes when you're in your emotions, you don't see factual things.
Oh yeah, definitely.
And I'm a very factual person. I'm gonna look at the facts first. So
I guess that's still what I was looking for. At all that, even though you tried to fight it, like, that's all I was looking for. I know that the scenario.
I thought you were saying, what would I do? That's why I'm like, I wouldn't be in that situation.
Yeah, I know that. That's what I'm saying. For someone who may be, or may have been, or may be getting into a situation like that may see this, just some advice, pretty much.
Yeah, I would say step outside of your emotions and look at the facts. I know that's hard to do when you're in the situation, but that is what you have to do, especially when you feel like you're putting a lot, or you're putting your all into something and you're not seeing results. That's when you need to take a step back, get outside of your emotions for a little bit, and look at the facts and see what's really going on from an outside perspective. Like, if this wasn't me in this situation, then, look at it that way, because it's hard to look at a situation sometimes when you're in it.
Yeah. And I would say to the guy,
you created this horrible guy.
Well, I didn't just make him up. He out there somewhere. And if he happened to come across this, like, don't just propose just because you don't want to lose her.
Yeah, don't do that.
If you don't plan on marrying her. Because, like I said, I feel like you should get married within a year. Why? Everything is just like...
Well, I wouldn't say
fresh.
Put a time stamp on anybody's... You don't know what people's situations are.
It might take 2 years to
when
save
you
up the money.
propose, you need to propose with the right heart and the right intent. And when you say yes, you need to say yes with the right heart. Mm-hmm. Like, mean it. Don't just say it because you guys have been together and you have all this history and,
And you just want to...
Don't want to hurt anybody's feelings. Or you just want the attention of the engagement. Yeah. I mean, there's a lot that goes into it. So you never really know. That's why you got to weigh your own motives, weigh your own heart.
Mm-hmm.
Is that it?
Yeah, that's it. That's good. That's good. I think people can learn from that. Long engagement, short engagement, 8-week engagements. Get married right away. Still here, though, 13 years later.
You keep saying 13 years.
It's about to be 13 years.
I know, but you've been saying 13 years for like half the year. So when we celebrate our anniversary, which is coming up next month, guys, that's when it's going to be 13 years. So everybody's going to be like, I thought y'all was already married for 13 years. I'm just saying, you've been saying 13 years for the past 6 months. Okay. Just so you guys understand, like, it'll be 13 years next month.
For the last 12 years.
Well, now it's closer to 13.
Oh, okay. Now you want me to say 13.
You can say what you want.
I say 20.
Okay. So who are you?
20 years. You've been my girl since high school.
Okay. What's your name?
I don't know. What is it?
Okay.
I'm Deontay.
And I'm Maymuna. And we...
Hold on. You didn't tell the people to don't like and subscribe. Okay, let me do it this time.
Okay,
don't forget to like and subscribe. Follow us on Instagram at we_still_D0. It's weird me doing it because you always do it. We want to do the live Q&A. Okay, y'all. This is the last time we're gonna talk about it. All right. Don't
No,
have
it's
us.
not.
It's not the last time, but I'm
He's
just
gonna
threatening
keep
y'all.
talking about it until he gets the responses that
Don't
he
have
wants.
us go live and then 5 people show up, because we will not do that episode live. Okay, put it that way. We will not do that episode live. Listen, we do it Sunday nights normally. Sunday nights around like 8 o'clock or something. So y'all ain't got nothing to do, and if you do, just tune in real quick, ask a couple questions so we can make that episode go live. Sorry for the late post. Like she said, I had a bad day yesterday and I was exhausted, and I apologize for that live in front of everybody, because it probably did affect you and I didn't want it to, but it's nothing that she did. It was just a lot. But with that being said, I'm Deontay.
And I'm Maymuna.
Oh gosh. And
We still do.